All right. We ain't got no one in the chat yet. No one viewing. Perfect. Ah, crap. People keep messaging. I don't know why. Alright, so I gotta find a way to position. Oh, my tasty beverages almost fell. We have one watcher. Outstanding. Sorry, still getting a little bit adjusted here. Why you breaking shit? I'm not breaking anything. That was the, Yes, I have you in a vise right now. There's a vise holding a glove, holding my phone so you can see it. So this is the lovely shop where Stalvin's Forge does magic or something. Battery pack. I'm trying to find a decent place to put all you guys so that way we can get stuff going. Power cord for the phone. Yes. We're getting a new anvil, by the way. Me and my buddy work out of the shop. He's not a part of the forge, but he's another blacksmith. We just share the same workspace. He's also cool, and as soon as he gets his stuff up and starts his thing, I'll be shilling for him as well. I hope you don't mind if I smoke. But anyway, we still got some time to kill before the official start. Well, I'll start when I'm well ready, but you know what I mean. And also, thank you, Rack, for being here. Get you out of here. See, the problem with my shop is there's not enough signal for everything, so it kind of just goes wonky. I kind of wish I could get stuff going, but you know how it goes. Let's put you here. I think you will be able to see everything. Don't quote me. There we go. Alright, let's see what we can see. I think it will see everything. I'm not sure. No, it won't. If I bring it down on the ground, maybe. Oh, what is that? No, none of that. None of that. Normal, please. Oh my god. It's a little retarded. All right. Let's see. I got the phone. Okay, you can see everything. You'll just see my ass most of the time. That works. Now, Rack, it's going to get kind of noisy because that's going to be on, but it is what it is. I probably won't be using my apron tonight. But I may. It depends on how much... oh, God. I'm forgetting my terms. Anyway. How much comes off with the scale? I know. I need a proper camera. My phone sucks. I look like I'm from some kind of weird ad from the 90s. But today, we're probably going to just play around with some metal. Just a little bit. I was going to make a knife, and I was like, nah, that stream will be too long. But we're 4 minutes in. I suppose we can get this started. A little bit. I don't know if I brought any chunks of AR-500 in. If we did... Ah, there's the butane lighter. Nice. Well, it's not butane, it's MAP gas, but whatever. Let's hope that he left it on. Alright, so we got plenty of fuel, it sounds like. Let's look at our little stash of shit. Oh, for the record, my buddy makes these nice little Mjolnirs, as well as nice little fire strikers. He's more of an artist than I am. Here's some of the stuff he's made. So there's that. That's what we're working towards. We're working on getting our chainmail jig back up. It still needs some work. But we might be cutting into some spring steel here. Leaf spring. I might play with that. I don't know. We'll see. Feel free to spread the live stream link. I don't mind. Handy dandy coaster. Time to put the cigarette out. Let's get to making some shit. Alright. I got a meal for later. Nothing like a little bullshit. Alright. What are you doing, phone? Alright. You'll have to forgive me, I'm using a touch phone. It's a little wonky at times. Forge heat up. The forge itself has to get to a good temp so we can work on stuff. Looks like my buddy's making some billets. We made some Damascus recently. Well, he did. Hello, Lo-Fi. Welcome to the show. Let's see if we can get some good tongs. Preparation is key. All right. Tasty beverage. I am not shilling for them. I can make axes. I don't mind, but not today. We got to get everything sorted for that. Temperature, we're at 4%. Yeah. I love making stuff. I've been trying to make saxes. And since I don't have any like stock ready right now, I don't feel like, well, I could cut some. Fuck it. Alright, we'll cut some stock metal and we'll start making some saxes. Here's my buddy's sax that he started not too long ago. Not quite a long sax, but not quite short either. Yeah, we're working on stuff, trying to get it good. I don't know if that's going to hold there. That's a nice piece of work. Cut disc? Yes. Alright, so we're going to make a cut disc, cut into this leaf spring back here to give us a nice little segment. And we'll see how she goes. Alright, what'd you do there? It's going to get pretty loud, so don't fret. Kind of like that. Don't mind that. I'm a professional. I will be one day. Alright. So, hopefully, I can make a decent cut. Wear safety equipment. if I had some. Alright, come on, gloves. Happening to the camera. Rusted metal. I don't want to cut it with the disc grinder because I don't have any like eye equipment. And I don't really feel like taking some grinder wheel to the eye. We'll just use a hacksaw. So while we do that, one day when I have an editor, we will put something together to entertain you with. Yes, indeed, safety is paramount. So I'm just going to rest this on my leg, get some WD-40 all over my pant leg. Mostly because the bolt is fused, because it's old and rusted. It's just going to be slower, which I don't mind. And I was cutting through the bolt's top part of the disc because I don't want to angle it. I mean, I could just cut around the bolt and all that other happy stuff. I'd rather not. cutting on, I might want to consider whether or not, because welcome back, Rack. Alright, so this is the part I'm cutting on. I can't show it. There we go. Poor Cranbook man, I know. Right here on this bolt that's fused. It's really shite. I might cut into this section right here to get one of these pieces. I was trying to get this because it's on top. It might come off easy. I think I might just make the cuts anyway. Cut this right here, call it good. But again, I don't have assayed equipment readily available, so we're just gonna cut a bolt or a nut. From there, we're gonna put it in the fire. Which, to be fair, I'm gonna save some fuel by not leaving it on. And I'm actually kind of happy that this stream is happening regardless of the camera situation. I'm about halfway through this thing, so bear with me. We still might have to hit it with a hammer or two. But for the most part, the stream's just to play around, have a little fun. And as the stream itself gets a bit more, I guess, popular or whatever, we'll start doing projects. And like I put on my Patreon, which I'm moving from Patreon to Subscribestar once they get that debacle settled. So for now, I got to use Patreon. Oh, I got a Subscribestar set up. But one of the things is, at a certain tier, I let you pick once, maybe once a quarter, to have me do something on stream for you. So the way you can see it made, maybe you just want to see it, maybe you want it, and I'll make it for you. However, further down, at a certain level, I think it's like $50 subscribing, I will make a knife for you. And that's about one of the lower prices I've made. Yeah, I'm still seeing chat. It is, at the same time, it's just to get people interested in what I'm doing and hopefully build like a client base. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a capitalist in this sense. But I also genuinely love this craft. I've been working on my day job so much that I've started to miss this more than anything else. And I've been trying to build up people to want to see it. Just like I'm pretty sure me and Alfred are doing a stream sometime in the future where both of us will stream doing something in the 40s. Hopefully by then, I will have more equipment like a power hammer or a trundle hammer, whatever I can get my hands on first, and a bigger burner forge. See if I can turn this just enough. Alright, that's just too small to do any of the projects I want to do, which is like swords or something bigger. But it is perfect for doing knives. Maybe not huge knives, but at the same time, it is big enough to do knives. Oh, come on. Hitting that point where it doesn't want to cut. This hacksaw blade might be jacked. No, we're good. Just gotta get it back into the bite. There we go. So, but I do have a Discord of my own. I was saving it kind of like a Patreon surprise, where you can talk to me if you want to get into the thing as well. I'm an amateur, but doesn't mean I can't help you find somebody near you or help you point you in the right direction. Let's see if we can smack it off right now. I doubt it, but we'll see. Success! And now I have a nice large piece to play with at a later date. Alright. not hot enough anymore to just kick on its own. If you have a propane forge, if you turn it off and wait a couple minutes and it's still hot in the inside, you turn it right back on, kicks back on. Anyway, so we got our metal. I have some tongs that will grip. So right now, we're good to start forging. Again, safety first. I'm not going to just lob it in. Gotta put my medium, or not my medium. Put buddies somewhere else. Get our tongs. Now, normally I would cut this into a more manageable size, but I'm just playing around with it. I'm not really interested in whether or not we make something specific. So I'm just throwing it in as is. I might crack open my adult beverage real quick. Don't look, children. It's unwholesome. Right now, we got some leaf spring steel in there, and I've not got to play with leaf spring before. I've played with you guys see nothing but blinding light, I'm sure, but right now I can see all the oranges in there. I can see the metal is slowly heating up because I didn't clean it. I'm letting it burn off naturally. Well, naturally. I'm letting it burn off as we go. We're 23 minutes in right now, which is just playing around. If you're wanting to know what's behind me, nothingness. It's my friend's garden. Yes, I'm spinning around really fast. I know. Bear with me. But we're getting there. And once it gets about the temperature of the forge all around it, we'll start pulling it out and beating it into a rough profile shape that we want. So, right now it's smoking, it's burning off all the gunk that's been on it since it was under a car, and I sprayed WD-40 all over it to help loosen up when I was going to hit it with a hammer. That said, the top layer of steel in it is starting to heat up to a nice orange that's kind of matching the internals of the forge right now. Now, sorry, that was from an energy drink I had earlier. Inside here, it's slowly building up that heat. I'm probably going to push this a little further in. And if I'm lucky, I can bend/break a section off, which I plan to do. A little bit in there, see if I can get you to see it without it being blinding light. So we're gonna turn off some lights. I hope that this works. Follow me to adventure. Alright, so we've darkened it. It's a little dark and spooky, I know. You see the flames coming out the front. It's normal. It becomes even more blinding as the lens here will adjust, though. It'll start to get the same color all over. Like the tip right now is ready for me to hit it, but I'm going to let it get a little hotter to shape it down. That's the hope anyway. Good, I'm glad you can see it. That's what I love about forging, is it's a very visual craft. You have to be able to tell when it's ready, when it's not. Now, again, I've never messed with leaf spring, so I know it's going to be different. Just like AR500 is different from all the other ones I've dealt with. Now, the numbers throwing around is like a nomenclature. You can Google them, and put metal or steel, they'll pop up with the properties and chemical compositions therein. And sometimes the nature of how they react and how they shape and form, if it's tacky, if it's soft, if it becomes brittle, stuff like that. With what temperatures they also do that at. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out so you can see. And hopefully everything is in position. Let me double check. Yeah, you guys can see. Awesome. Alright. Now, I have a good set of tongs here. We might need a different one. One thing you'll notice with all blacksmiths, we have like a crap load of different tongs. They all have a different job, different width. They hold stuff in different ways. There's a very real chance that I lose grip with the tongs and the metal comes out. And that is a fire hazard, of course. Now again, these tongs they get a good bite on bigger projects, but they're not very strong. They're very soft metals. So I don't feel comfortable bearing down on them and then hitting it with a nice blow. But they do good about being displacing. So we'll pull it out to show you guys what I got. I'll use the thinner tongs, so maybe we can get a bite. Alright. Get out of there. So here we are. Some nice hot metal. It's ready to be hit again, so we shall. Try to slowly squeeze it down to the shape. Keep it straight as best I can anyway. We're eventually going to try to heat it up hot enough that we can break off a section and make it more manageable. That's one of the reasons why I want a power hammer, is so I can take some that and a couple more tongs. Take something like that, heat it up, and then run it under the hammer, straighten it out, flatten it back again, and make it smaller and smaller until it's a manageable size that I can use with regular tongs. That's the idea. Oh, we got someone another viewer. Welcome, whoever you are. I didn't see. Right now we got the fire going. Metal in there. Tip this back down as best as I can anyway. Alright, no, I guess you don't want to. That's fine. Go away, chat thingy. No. Do not zoom in. This is the problem with the camera. Alright. Alright, apparently, yeah, the phone does rebel a lot. Apparently I can't stream it with my camera up in portrait. I have to do it in landscape. Kind of making the problems. But we gotta do what we gotta do. You may not be able to see me, but that's alright. Right now, I've just took that hard piece of steel and bent it. Got a nice angle on it. Stick her back in. That's the anyway. I might have to hold this, so sorry. As it cools down, it will get harder to bend.
slightly straighter so I can get it in there again. Alright. You'll also notice as I move the metal, flakes of stuff coming off, that's scale buildup. It's a form of rust. When I'm burning the propane, hydrogen will come off and attach to those lovely oxygen atoms, making that H2O. And it gets on the metal, that water vapor will start making a patina. It's a dirty look on it. A good example of that is here. This is the patina. And that's one of the things that sucks about using a propane forge, is that you will always have this, no matter what you do. So, best thing we can do is always just grind it off, clean it that way. We have 3 people now. Welcome, welcome. Stop it, phone. Y'all can't see it, but my phone is quite sure. It keeps wanting to like ask me if I want to record something or not. And I'm like, no, I don't want to record anything, everything's fine. Oh no. I'm trying not to touch the camera, but I gotta plug it in. Unfortunately, the power is dying because this camera phone heats up so much. So this might be a short stream. I might actually be stuck working tonight. Terrible. Still. So what we're going to try to do is maybe throw me out some ideas of what to make, keep it realistic with this leaf strength steel. Keep in mind I can only do so much. Alright, are we charging? Are we? I don't know. It says we have power. Come on, don't be a butt. Yeah. Alright, we're charging. Yay. Nobody breathe on my... And hopefully it'll stay charging. Still charging? Come on. Don't be a butt. I can't tell. If it dies, it dies. Hopefully it's still charging. Alright. We're at a half-minute mark, or half-hour mark. Alright. Take it out. Woo! Put that in. Twice. Turn it bend. Bend it down. Bend it back up. As best as we can. Doing there with the back of the beam hammer, which is my usual hammer to use, is I'm trying to create a groove, which normally I either use to whiten or to elongate the metal by rapid dip on flat again, so I can either stretch it or widen it. This one I'm just trying to make a weak spot so I can break off that chunk. Sadly, I don't feel like turning off the forge, pulling it out, letting it cool to a reasonable temperature, which will take a little while, throwing in the vise and hitting it with the saw. Should have done that before. Oh well. We're here, let's just have fun. Or, we can finish this knife, which I think we might do. I don't know who this was for. I think this was originally a Poe knife, or it's going to have like a snake at this end. I was going to try my hand in artistry, which I'm not really that good at. And call it Poe's knife. Poe from Magog Morse Scar, those not know. So, yeah. But either way, we could be turning this into one of my niece's Christmas presents. Not because I'm cheap, but because I think handmade things mean more, but not to children, I guess. Unless it's like something super duper amazing in it. But we'll throw it in anyway. Screw it. No one claimed that I was Bob Ross, so that's good. We're up to 5 viewers. Wow. Jeez. I'm gonna put this to the side. Remember, safety first. So, setting that one to the side. We're gonna take a more workable project right now, such as this knife, which is back to hot. Throw it back in there for a little bit. Why not? Also, something to do if you ever decide to become a blacksmith yourself. Water is your best friend, because then you won't get as drunk when the beer hits you. Alright. Alright, so. If I take it off the charger, it might die. Yes. It wasn't charging anyway. As the camera refocuses. Sorry, tongs. Now, that's ready to be hit, and I'm going to start hitting it very soon. Alright. So we're going to go back over here. Hey, Alfred. I won't be able to see the chat very well, so bear with me. It's probably for the best that I don't see the chat. Up about a few degrees, just so it stays like a nice bevel. Though I'm working with a really odd shaped anvil in the sense of how it's fatter than it is wide or long. I wish I had something like a square peg or a round anvil, which is just a circle at this point. Not the same one as you got, but that would actually work pretty well for that. If you think about it, find a good spot on your doming anvil, just kind of drag it back and forth across there, you should be good. Alright. So with the bevel on your knife, it's that shape that can go from something as steep as this to where it apples a little bit more, bowed out to that. Yes, I'm not making vaginas or hearts. But something like that, to that, to that. Now the steeper your bevel, you'll see it on different things. A very sheer end bevel is going to be on your straight razors. You can see like Appalachian bevels, apple bevels, so on and so on. Depends on the job they're doing. Slicing, chopping, or cutting. You might think slicing and cutting are the same thing. They're not. But take your own word for it. I'm just saying words to fill the time between us. So, let's get back into it. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Can't tell. Same thing you do on one side, you gotta do the other. Yes, I'm trying to hit it evenly. Even straight, stuff like that. That's the hard part with what I got going on right now. Now this is a railroad spike, kind of cheap. You can find about anywhere. There's a railroad nearby. It was not hard to find, not hard to buy. A very good beginner's project. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. Welcome to the fun times. We're almost an hour long already. I didn't know how fast this goes, or slow it goes, rather. Never timed it. So, that said, don't forget, check out Alfred. Those of you who know what I'm talking about will already know. So spread the word. Alfred's a really good blacksmith. He's a very good artist. like a lot of what he does. Made a really awesome helmet for Bear. Is that Irate Bear? He made a helmet for a very angry bear man or something. But it looked good. As you can tell, it's got starting to get a bend, more so than it had. As I bevel it and keep hammering along this edge, this tip will start to drop a little bit more. Now if I want to stop that, I'll flip it over and do some gravity drops on where I'm making my bevel, and it'll bring it back out. Also, this is still really fucking hot. As you can probably still see, it's glowing. I would not recommend touching it. But it's too cold for me to work. I don't want to induce too much stress on it. So, there's that. I don't honestly know what to tell you guys. I just make stuff. I don't know why I wanted to stream. I just figured, why not? It's easier for me, I guess, than doing a video and going back and editing it, speeding it up, slowing it down in some spots. But I figured you get to see what it looks like in the poor man's blacksmith shop. Alfred's got some ingenious toys on his end. I'm trying to read this, but I can't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, I can't really react to you guys as much with the interaction there. I would love to have a guest, but you'd have to come to me, because I can't really take this with me. This is not all mine. Some parts I brought into the shop are mine. But it's more of a me and my buddies together shop right now. He's working on getting a bigger shop for his boat, which is nice. I'm kind of getting tired of getting hit with scale. That my camera was a bunk. That camera was bad. I'm saving up for another camera. It's wireless. I might have to get a cheap laptop to run this stuff on. But it is what it is. Not everyone's here to watch me smoke and do other stupid stuff. Where's my other glove? No glove, no life. I'll just be a man and take the flak from the scale. Alright, back to it. It's running a little less hot than we have had in the past. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit because I have to bring this stuff down. So I'm not as good as Alfred, honestly. He's got more years of experience, so I always refer to other smiths. And I generally take their advice, mostly because it's easier than trying to do it the hard way. Like right now I got a little bit of a twist, as you can probably tell. Point that directly at the camera. It's veered. That's where I've been hitting it. So I can either try to counter that with another blow from the hammer, or I can take it to the vise, try to straighten it by hand, which can help, can hurt it. And I mean, by hurt it, I mean make it worse or not take it out enough. And that in and of itself can be an issue. But the idea is, by the time we get done with fixing the bends, warps, wobbles, whenever we take it to the grinder to take off the patina, we can also take off some high spots to kind of even it out. So if it's got like this going on and it looks all warped, we can take that high spot out and make it look back straight, which is what most factories do. They'll plasma cut out a piece, they'll make a mark on it, they'll grind off the edges for their bevel. They're good knives. Generally, your handmade ones are like that much better than a factory cut one, due to the work that goes in it. But again, it's minuscule. You can go either way. You can either get a factory one, it looks great, beautiful, or you get a hand forged one. It just depends on you as a consumer. I don't think I'll ever really own any of my own knives, mostly because it's a weird. You don't paint to keep your own paint. Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying, right? But you know, hopefully, if people like seeing these, I'll do more of them. If not, I'll just go back to video formats. And welcome, Joshua. Welcome to the Madhouse, Stallman's Forge, behind the scenes. The hard part about this is I can't do too much talking, mostly because that's roaring hot. And I don't know how to modulate my voice to make it better. Ow! Screw skill. Alright. Alright. I got the bend out, thankfully. It's a little more from the center because there's a lot of metal right here. But it's okay. Small micro corrections, just like in driving. I'm not hitting it too hard. I'm not trying to hit it so hard that it bends it. Maybe put a little notch in here for my finger. Which most of this can be done with a grinder. Putting a little bend in there for the finger whenever you hold it. Some people like that, some people don't. It's not a beautiful knife by any means, but it's beautiful to me. I suppose that's all that matters when you're an artist, which I'm not. Yeah, we need to bring this side in more, that side out a little bit, back in. What I'm talking about is over here. You can see there's a difference where I've started it. It's folding here, here. I can take that off with the grinder we got over here. It's a belt grinder. I'm using 60 grit or 80 grit. We can take that right back down to the nice level sides, and you know, it'll go together. People are gonna think that I made this knife, like, I come in later, like, oh my god, he made one already. No, this one that I worked on when I was introducing a friend to it, to smithing in general. He likes to try new things like this. Oh, you know, we're just doing things and talking about stuff. I'm not really what I call a teacher. I can try to correct you on things that I've done wrong, and hopefully that helps you in the long run. If not, oh well. It is what it is. If you want to see more, like and subscribe to the video. Made simple as that, honestly. If you want to see more videos, that's fine. Leave a comment saying do more videos. If you don't, that's cool. I don't mind. It is what it is. Hell yeah, I was someone who teaches me to forge things. There's plenty of how-to videos. It's not a hard hobby to get into. If you want to just do it for a hobby. Like I've told many people, I want to do this as a profession. So I'm trying to be as professional as I can. There we go. Alright, flip it over. As low, so low. Some of these spots just need a bit more love than the other. And that's what we're doing right about now. Whenever you take a square piece, you try to bend it on itself, you'll get a nice little fold, which we're going to try to take out with the grind. Get a nice little twist in there on the exit, which is kind of like, no, please God. There we go. Alright. So what I was saying about the fold. Alright, when I take the square stock, I'm When I say stock, I mean what I'm working with. It's not actual stock metal. This was a railroad spike. Whenever I take that flat piece and try to bend it in on itself to make this bevel, there's going to be like two halves that try to meet. Now, it'll give me a false sense of hope that it is a good weld on itself, which it won't be. It's going to have a low spot in it. So what I'm going to try to do is draw it out next with crossbeam and hammer that out a little bit more to spread it out. And when I start grinding it away, let all this patina build up and fixing the high and low spots on it. Now, I don't expect my nieces to really use these knives. They're still little girls. But hopefully, if they want to use it, they could without too much worry. But that's part of it. As it heats up, over time it'll get slower and faster at some points. The thicker your metal, the slower it'll heat up. And right now the edge where I've gotten it thin is heating up nicely, but I'm trying to get that whole metal hot again. So it's going to be a little slower. And as I watch it, this is the downtime, is watching the metal reheat. Now, when I watch the heat, I'm watching the blades, temperature of the stock metal, get to the same color as the inside of my forge. That's how I know it's at the right temperature, once it matches, more or less. That's how I do it, at least. Alfred might have a different method. He might actually have a temperature gauge. He might know the colors better. So, it's all about that. Yeah, I was going to do a brake drum, but unfortunately for me, I didn't have that opportunity to get that going. Huh. Nice. I would be more than happy to use your weapons. I love fighting. That's the other thing I do, is I use swords and spears and such, and other medieval weapons from Europe, Renaissance weapons. Personally, I love that stuff. There's nothing more awesome to me than crafting something with your two hands, or using a weapon like a bow or a spear or a halberd, any kind of polearm or sword, different swords for different things that's going on. And as a Norse pagan, the act of making something like this is very spiritual in a sense. There's a certain gravitas that comes with it. But it has been bellied out a bit more. We're going to draw it out a little bit more here. Try to bring this in a little bit. I kind of want this to curve up a bit more, just a bit. We're not making a historical blade right now. I wish we were, but I don't have anything prepared. Again, my rule of blacksmithing is be prepared. That's why we got a fire extinguisher over there in the corner nearby. We have woods ready to make for scales and other handle materials. It's so we can change up as the customer changes their expectations. Let's see if I can find you a good piece. Now, these two blades are some of my old ones. 1084 steel. They're not bad. I just don't remember who I was promising them to at the time. These are, they were going to be Saxes, but as you can tell, it's just sharp, pokey sting. with some cutting edge. Now, again, there's obviously some spot differences in their sizes and widths. Some of these are good, some of these are bad. Now, again, almost dropped one. Thank goodness I caught the tip in my hand. So basically these are ready to be burned into a handle. I think I've already quenched these because we used the handles I've made for these in something else. They're not tempered, they've just been quenched. So they're fairly fragile. I'm sure if I smash them together really hard, they'd break, but so be it. So we might remake something into those. We'll take the temper back, we'll take the birdless out, heat it up critically, let it cool back down, normalize, and then rework them a bit more, re-burn through a handle, then we'll temperature and quench and temper in an oven for a few hours or an hour. And then we'll start the long and arduous phase of polish and cleaning after we re-grind the edge. To help take out some of the hammer marks, but I think it'll give it a nice character, which is kind of what most people want to see in a knife. Some people like hand marks because they are ugly. Like right now, this is like what you could consider the toddler infant phase of a knife. Now, this is some of my better works. You can see other ones, other pieces I've made later. I'm going to show you some of the ones my buddy makes who also works in this forge. One he's made to sags to burn through with brass, or is that copper spacers with some nice wood with nice grain with a nice polish to it. Now it is sharp. I'm running my thumb on it and I can feel it slowly cutting my skin. Now that's stuff he makes, and I've been busy at work, so I've been behind, and he's selling these. I will, if you're interested, send me a message on Discord or Twitter and I'll let you know. Sort of selling it for both of us. But regardless, I gotta catch up to him. Why am I not naked, Cholito? Oh, no volume. That's because my phone is dying. Alright. Is there no sound? No, my microphone is not muted. Come on. Charge. There we go. Okay. I was going to say, either way, some other things you can do. If you're interested in any of the stuff I make, let me know. More than happy to talk to you, make you something. I prefer stuff from Europe, making stuff from specific times and regions, so if you kind of have an idea. One of my high list projects for next year is a Zephyr's sword for Weeaboo Jones. I generally try not to deviate out of Europe, but client wants what a client wants. As we taper this down from blade tip to blade to the bottom where the hand is, from the spine to the tip, there's going to be a slight tapering I hope to achieve, which you can hear how it tapers from the tip to there, and it tapers again from here to here. That's the idea I'm going for with this specific knife. Not any specific design in mind, just hammering away. So it's one of those things. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me pull that up. Yeah. Better? Yes or no? Better? I hope. Well, I guess I could turn the light back on. Oh, that's Doc Griffin in the chat. Nice to meet you again, Doc. Welcome to the shop. Some more light for you guys. I was using it to show the difference between the temperatures so you guys can see it. It also helps to let me see the change in the light. Okay, much better? Awesome. Now, again, I'm open to comments about whether or not the stream is a good thing, bad thing, whether I should stick to videos. I don't mind. It also helps to clean your anvil off from time to time when scale builds up. Like there's a twist in here, which I'm going to heat up, correct that bend that's at the tip here, and correct that spine twist. I'm by no means an expert, professional. I just love doing this stuff. I will become one as soon as I come out of school to take a BA student payment and get my journeyman's, hopefully. Hold on. No, that is definitely not the $125 anvil. That is a Harbor Freight piece of shit. And I'm not afraid to say that on the air because it is. It is an awful anvil. But it's what we got. The 135-pound anvil, 131-pound, sorry, anvil, I'm still paying on. I wasn't able to pay for this portion of the installment. But I've already given him some money, so hopefully he's happy with that. And I've already paid him $50, $150. So I paid about $400, so this should be the last payment I have to make. He'll email me whenever he's like, whoa, dude, what's up? And we'll let him know. And hopefully it isn't a scam, because I'll be very mad, and I may make a knife to go personally get a refund. So, who knows? Dang, my battery's dying. Well, yes, you can get some decent anvils from just scrap too. It's not all about pricey stuff. Half the stuff I have I bought for less than maybe 50 bucks. My hammers, my apron, gloves, some other materials were about $150 because they were a bundle. They also came with like some books on how to do all this stuff. And yes, gaming and yelling, I can make you weapons, but we'll talk about prices later. Ah, yeah. But I wanted to get a couple more good hits in on it. We might not have to take it to the vise after that. might be a high spot, so I might have to be done hitting that for now. Another thing we're going to do, maybe, if I can find the tool for it, but I think our vice's post is borked. Yes, it is. The screws came out on the front, so I can't do any cool twists with it. But it is what it is. There's no reason not to do a twist. It doesn't hurt it. It's an aesthetic choice. We got some antlers, but I think he's saving those antlers over there for specific knives he's making. I love using antlers because it's a nice texture to it. I love the smell when it's burned on or ground on. It just smells kind of annoying. But it is what it is. Looks like my buddy's been doing a little casting, which I don't know what he was casting. If you're wondering why I'm standing this close to it, it's because I don't know how loud it is. It sounds deaf to me because, well, honestly, I've been around fighter jets too much on an airfield, gunfire, explosions, so I'm going slightly deaf. So that's why I'm not using Ear Pro while I'm hammering, because it doesn't sound that loud to me. I know it's pretty loud. It might not be catching on the phone. That's why I'm coming this close to talk to you guys. Also because the beer. But in general, blacksmithing is quite possibly one of my most favorite things. I am not accepting payments in that. Okay, thank you for telling me it sounds fine. Okay, thank you guys. Again, my first official stream. But I recommend a propane one. Don't look at my food. It's terrible. I was trying to hit the chat. Thank you. Still charging, so we still got some battery life left. Regardless, it's a very dirty job in the sense of coal and stuff. Propane, not so much. The only thing I gotta worry about is scale in my eye. Yeah, you can hear the iron in the anvil, I know. It's just a piece of shit doorstop, more or less. Really, trust me. It's good for jewelry, as long as it's small stuff. It does okay. It's not bad anvil. Don't let me... Okay, let me be fair to it. It does its job. It's an anvil-like object. I wouldn't recommend it, but it will work in a pinch. Just like a railroad rail... a railroad track piece. A junkyard anvil is just as good. As long as it's solid, flat, which you can grind down with a buffer wheel or grind wheel and knock it out. I love this stuff. Some people think it's too hard, but it's honestly not that bad. it's candid in the tongs, so it looks a little blocked. But now we got it where we need it. So as far as I'm concerned, this part of the project is done. There's some more stuff I could do it. I could clean it a little bit. But generally, it's ready. Ignore the wine bottles. They are a figment of your imagination. We do not drink at the shop. Alright, I cannot find my brush, so the scale pattern that's built up on here, when I grind it smooth and shiny, it'll give it a nice character to the blade. But let's work on the handle, shall we? You want to put your blade down as easy as you can, as gentle as you can. Not because of any predisposed reason. Dang, that got hot. But we're going to work on the handle right now. We're going to see how well it goes. I won't be taking you guys to the grinding phase because it will be way too loud and it's really boring. Back and forth on it, just keeping that angle on it so the bevels will come out clean and not cut up. Flip it over, go back and forth again, getting everything good. So once we get to a good stopping point, we'll probably call it the stream. And that'll probably be when it's ready for grind. Or if you guys want, I'll take you through that stage. Then we'll get to the cleanup and the other part. I am actually, if I get enough followers on it, yeah, I'm more than happy to make some merch. But I'm still working on business cards. But hopefully soon I will meet with another local blacksmith who's been in the game for about 2 decades or more, so 20 plus years, and I will get a little bit of his wisdom. Maybe I get to work with him a little bit. I usually put stuff in my beard and my hair to keep it all out of the way and nice and tidy, but I don't want to risk getting too close to the fire and the heat, and I don't trust enough of my products to not catch on fire eventually. So that's why this is like some kind of high school cool kid haircut. It's not. I just need to get a haircut. I enjoy having you and I enjoy showing you what I do. Even though this is probably one of the most boring ones, probably. Seems like all the good ones happen somewhere else, doing something else. But, oh, yes, and if you do want a knife, I'm willing to work on like a discount kind of thing with you bring me some material and I will take it off the price. Because I usually charge for fuel, time, and material. Not so much my labor, just time. It usually takes me about 15 hours to do one. Thank you, phone, for letting me know I have a low battery. I know. Once I get a steel one, which is coming soon, it'll be so much better. And it has a more secure hardy hole for me to do other projects with it, like scrolling and so on. And once I get the doming anvil, we'll start making a boss. A shield boss. In fact, I think we have some in the shop that we were going to make some round shields to sell. On hand. Now, I'm not going to take it out of the wrapper because it's got oils on it that help keep it protected. But we're going to make something like that. That would go in front of your shield boss. Or if you're going to make a buckler, you can do another little circle around it. Hold it here. Well, I can't really do this, so there we go. Anyway. Once we get that doming anvil, we'll be making shield bosses. Yes. You're absolutely right. We're losing views, but that's alright. I don't mind. You can do whatever you need to do. Go do other streams if you have to do other streams. By all means, I will not be offended. I'll continue to do stuff. I'm sure most of you didn't come here to see me talk, blah. You just want me to see me hit stuff on the end. So we will. let that cool down a little bit. See how she looks before we start doing any more major detailing. So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the fire for now. Oh, it's fine. I understand. My forge here doesn't get a lot of good Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, I see some people coming back. It's all good. Yeah, I would love to have a different outlet than YouTube, mostly because I watched it from the beginning to now, and it's kind of weird. I don't hate nor love them. I don't agree with their practices, but still. All right, so right now I've had a good stopping point, not for the stream, of course, but for this particular piece. And the reason I stopped it is I'm about to do a couple tests on it, see how the edge is holding. I'm going to clean it a little bit. So I'm going to take some sandpaper and start scraping away some of this stuff. My grinding belt would be faster, but it's really loud and it vibrates pretty much every table in my immediate area. So we'll be doing it the old-fashioned way. Also, I consider about eating, so we may pause, but I don't think that's how that works, especially since I'm on camera. But hey, it is what it is. Now, I'm going to let my forge here cool down quite a bit. It's glowing, still orange, the refractory brick we got. It's already starting to crack from the stress of the heat, constantly on, off, on, off, on, off. And I might, once this gets a little bit darker in color, I'm going to go ahead and drop the knife into one of the many little quench tanks we got around. We got a liter bucket full of cold water. Well, it's not cold, it's room temperature at this point. And then we have a small vat of oil, peanut oil, that we use to quench the more high quality stuff because it needs a slower draw away from the heat. Where these railroad spikes, you can drop them in ice water and they're fine. It's my first live blacksmithing stream for sure. I'm pretty sure you can find other blacksmiths who do the same thing. I don't know. I can't promise you. Maybe most of them do it on Facebook or something. I was thought about doing some welding tonight, but I don't really feel like it. I mean, it's a low-grade welder. It's a cheap farm welder. It's not amazing. So it won't hold anything I want to do with it. And I don't think I have the right flux cable for it. But that's alright. We'll work with what we got. And later we'll start doing other stuff. He's gonna be gay. Little child is getting sad and lonely. But no, for a professional tone. I will be working constantly as time allows to work and get my apprenticeship papers, however I may. Also my journeyman's, and I will be more than happy to stream when I get them. And I will definitely be doing a victory stream whenever I finally achieve my master's paper, which won't be for years. Like, this is something I'm dedicating almost probably a lifetime to, something I can pass on to kids or children I adopt or whatever have you in the future. Something I can pass down. But needless to say, this is still not cold enough to touch, but we're going to drop it into the oil. You won't see this, I don't think, but it's alright. Now the reason I'm dropping it into oil is because it's a slower draw, it's already cooled down a lot, and I just want to play in the oil, I guess. Well, you can kind of see me way over here, but still. Get a nice little oil bath going on it. Now it's, like again, the peanut oil is for a slow, very slow cool. You might be able to hear some of the oil sizzling from this one right here, this water. It smells like we had a dead mouse in there at one point. He must have pulled. Alright. Oh, there's my handle brush. Alright. So this is probably still a little warm to the touch. That's alright. It won't cause any fires. It won't probably burn me if I touch it. But for the most part, it's complete. Minus detailing, cleaning,
sharpening the blade, which will be done on the grinder. I don't want to do this by hand because this is not a nice blade. Now, if this was like a sword, I would definitely do that by hand. There's a certain level of precision you can achieve with it. It also takes a lot of time, and no one wants to stand in front of a buffer wheel or a grinder wheel for hours on end. Most people who make swords by hand will tell you it takes about a year, year and a half. That's from start to finish, if they're making a scabbard, doing the woodwork themselves, making the crossguard, because all these were once parts of jobs. You had a bladesmith who made the blade, who would send it to a guy who would hilt it, who would send it to a guy who would put the handguard on, who would send it to a guy who does the pommel. All these different trades doing different things because of different tools. Different guy doing the scabbard, different guy doing the sharpening, different guy doing the oiling, all these things. As it became more and more not something you needed, blacksmiths started doing all in one. I want to be all in one, but at the same time, that's a lot of different trades. There's carpentry, leather work, obviously metal work, casting, other such things. I would love to hammer out my own crossguard for a sword one day, but we'll find out in the future. Alright. Wish me luck. Still kind of warm. Alright. It is good enough to touch. Alrighty. There's my other glove. Even though it's cold, I'm going to put on a glove. Just because. Alright, where did we put the sandpaper? Over here past the Michelob Ultra that my fellow drinks. 80. Alright, so I'm going to use some 80 grit sandpaper. We're going to sand back some of this patina and see what we got. Now, it won't be amazing, and it will be loud. I'm sorry. That's the nature of the beast. Well, then again, I might step away. You can turn down the volume. Actually, that's probably what we're going to do, because I started that, and I'm like, that's a lot of work. So, what we're going to do is be lazy in this sense, and use fancy-dancy electrical stuff. So, volume warning. Go ahead and start lowering it. Alright, so we started taking away the patina. As you can tell, there's no patina here. But here, we've made some clean metal. It looks all scarred and stuff from the hammer falls. That's going to happen. You can't really get away from that unless you do use some other materials and other tools to soften, not really soften the blow, but kind of like spread the force out to kind of smooth it. Alfred probably knows what I'm talking about. If you want to know. I am doing it bad, I am doing this one-handed. Whenever you do this, you really want to use two fingers and guide it. That's a little one from the grinding. Flip it over and do the same thing. It helps keep the same angle for when you clean up the bevels, so that way they're nice and straight and singular with their line work. That way, whenever you come to polishing and taking out some of the grind marks, it's all uniform-ish.
Oh, and always, as always, safety first, eye pro. I don't have any, I'm taking a risk, it's not smart. Be safe, wear safety equipment if you have it, and honestly, that's about all I can tell you on that one. Alright, another little fun thing I've done here is I took it to the grinder, and instead of leaving it a square, I started rounding it. Because that clip right here, I liked it when I saw it, mostly because I didn't hammer this smoother and flatter, so they had a little clip point, and I like that. Personally, it's just my kind of like, I like that. But I'm going to start taking it from this ridge on the clip, I'm going to start grinding it back. I'm kind of taking away until I get a nice smooth consistency. And I'm going to dip more into here, just a hair more. And when I come back here, you'll start to see this bevel start to show through a little bit better. Same on this side. And I'm going to try to clean up as much as I can. But what I was talking about way earlier in the stream is that you'll see these little shuts. These little cold shuts where I've been hammering the square part closed. We're going to try to grind those out so that way it's a consistent edge. My phone's dying, apparently. Also, thank you, Alfred, for giving me a hand with the terminology, because without it, wow, that's really camera dirty. Alright, it's the light probably, but still. Do some minor tweaking. Alright, close, yeah, there we go. Yes. Oh, also, Alfred, if anyone has a question that's Smith related that they don't know, please feel free to answer it. I know you probably will anyway, but thank you. It allows me to concentrate on the work. Sometimes you can't forget to change out the belt. This belt is, this belt's spent. So we'll just take it off. Throw it somewhere nice and safe, like over there. And hopefully we still have some belts left. Ah, here they are. By belts, I'm about to show you, if you don't know what I mean, is one of these. This is a belt for belt grinder. This should be 80 grit. No, 60 grit, I'm sorry. 60 grit sandpaper on a belt. You feed it through one of these bad boys. Be careful, make sure it's off. Do not turn it back on. And it can be a pain to put them on, depending on the tension you have it at. And when you turn it back on, you can adjust however it is by a wheel in the back. You can even hear it sounds different. That's because it is. You can definitely hear the difference, and whenever I hit it with that, it sounds so much different. So much different. Sounds different. But I'm actually getting hit with more metal shavings and patina and scale from just changing out this thing. Now, as you can see, it's starting to slowly, ever so slowly, get this back the way I like it. And it changes the proportions of the blade. It makes the blade look longer on the bottom, which before it was just slightly bellied, and kind of gives it a nice little, I guess, scimitar, mezzer-ish look to it. A little hot. I got some water next to me to dip this in if it gets too hot. Now, you won't see it as well because this is a low-grade camera on the phone. But with this new one, I got to be very careful not to take too much out of it. At the same time, take just enough of these deformated spots and kind of square it up just a little bit better. Now, it does look a little cattywampus because it slightly is, but as I take metal away from the handle, from the blade itself, it'll straighten out as long as I can maintain a good angle on all of it. Which, honestly, I'm honestly not that good at. I'm getting jigged for that. Yes, that is still very hot. It is hot enough to burn my fingers. It's not that fun. That's alright. We'll make a happy little night. I'm not really a Bob Ross type. I hate to say. I wish I was. Bob Ross is cool. But I just don't fit that motif. Now, a lot of the work I'm putting into this grind is going to come right back out when I reheat it, because it's going to put another layer of patina on it, which is why I'm not too overly worried about it. Right now, it's just cleaning up and making sure it looks kind of pretty. Oh, Adamantite's in the stream. Cool, welcome.
So, I'm going to take a moment. All right, most of y'all saw what we started with, which wasn't amazing. But, for the most part, we have the basis of a knife profile. Nothing amazing. It's not. I might not even sharpen it for the kids. If they want to sharpen it, they can bring it back. Mostly because I'm sure their parents will object and they'll never see this thing ever again, which would make me very sad. But it is what it is. So we have the basis of one. Not too bad. Kind of like a little bone structure right here, which we might grind back to a round pommel kind of feature, such as with Magog's knife, where I took the tip and I was going to try to hammer these out with a split and then wrap them like ram's horns. Didn't have those handy enough, so I had to scrap that idea. Instead, I just made it look like a bone. So this one I might round the entire thing, just keep going until it's finally just nice and round and smooth. But other than that, we have a functional knife for the most part. That is very warm. Yep, that's still very hot as I hold it. But I've held hotter things. Different types of metal retain heat at a different rate. They dissipate the heat differently. Some get cooler faster, some retain the heat very well, which these do. The railroad spikes maintain them. It's part of their makeup. They're a low-grade steel, honestly. But they do their job really well. Like, you can make a decent knife. I mean, it's not going to be spectacular. They can look pretty. But it's not a knife that you would keep in the family forever. It's one that you probably use once for something, clean it, oil it, put it on a shelf, call it good. Which I never really liked making show knives. So what I will do in the future, as people around me want them or the kids want one, I'll make them one more appropriate in the sense of sharp, dangerous, but at the same rate I'm going to tell the kids how to use these knives and what to do with them, when to use them. Also remind their parents the same thing. You can't just give a kid a knife. Oh, shut up, phone. Someone's trying to get a hold of me. Never mind. They can wait. I got things to do. And you people matter. All 5 of you. Or more. I honestly don't know who's all viewed it. But either way. For the most part, we're good here. We'll probably take another stream soon. If y'all guys liked it, I'll review the content. And we'll go ahead and start the other parts of this. But for now, here at Starvelin's Forge, we're going to sign on off. You don't know what that meant? Good. That's how I like it. Alright, to all of you for watching, thank you. And if you like this content, like, share, and subscribe, I guess. Later.